maybe in starting this, I've already hit the wrong button, and now we are not live on YouTube. But here we go. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome. It's Friday. The weekend's nearly here. All right, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to do some huge things. We've got Falcon Heavy launch coming up. The Falcon Heavy launch, 24th of June. It was supposed to be the 22nd. And why is that important? Because I'm in Florida around that time. And I could go if it was the 22nd, but by putting it on the 24th, I can't go. We're going to give you details on how you can get along to it. And more importantly, probably the most important thing that's happened to me this week, I met future me. And what do I mean by that? I mean, I met future me. Somehow, I met a time traveler who's me in the future, and I saw him down 3rd Street. We'll talk about that as well. All right, promo time. Yes. This is episode 4. Episode 4. The things I've learnt so far, I need to reduce the amount of buttons that I have to press. Because in the lead up to making this go live, not only does it go live on Facebook, today we're going live in 2 locations, my personal page and Robot Time Machine page. We go live on YouTube. I wanted to do Twitch as well, however, there's a max of 3 streams that I can do. But in terms of getting it all set up, yeah, it's a little bit difficult. It's damn fun though. Over the past 4 episodes, I've worked out how to tweak certain things and change different things. And I mean, the transitions that we can get are really quite fun. So, it's Friday. Saturday's about to begin because that's how weeks work. If you're a fan of space, then you're a fan of the Falcon Heavy. Because look, the Delta Heavy's quite fun as well. But there's something, there's just something about the notion when SpaceX build rockets that's ultra fun. Specifically, probably because when they test it, rather than putting a concrete slab on the payload to test whether it's going to work, they put Elon's car. Now, many of you will be aware of when the Falcon Heavy did its test flight a couple of years ago, the payload that was sent into space was Elon Musk's personal car. Now, a lot of people have been like, what's the point of doing that? It's ridiculous. Why not save the turtles and so on? Yeah, save turtles. That's all good. But the reason that they did that was because you need to test these things. And normally, like the size of a satellite, we showed in the podcast 2 days ago, showed the size of satellites. Satellites are like cars. They're like pickup trucks. And normally, say when ULA, the United Launch Alliance, does a test of a rocket, they'll create like a concrete slab and use that as the payload. So SpaceX decided, no, rather than using a concrete slab, we'll put a car. Where is that car? If you're wondering where that car is, where's the SpaceX car? There's a website actually. I'll check out where it is right now. It's where is Starman? I think it's something like that. It was supposed to go into orbit around Mars, but it hit the wrong trajectory. Starman, where is Starman? Okay, whereisroadster.com. If you ever want to check it out, it is whereisroadster.com. Now, this website has the location of where it is. I'm going to bring it up on a screen so that you can see. Let's try and cut. Hey, bang, there we go. So on screen, you'll be able to see. And if you're listening to the podcast, you can always jump onto YouTube and check this out. This says on February 6, 2018, the first Falcon Heavy was launched into space. It contained a very special payload, a Tesla Roadster with Starman. I was there for it, by the way. I was at Kennedy Space Center the day that happened. because there was not a chance in hell that if I had the opportunity, I wasn't going to take it up. I just started, had I started a new job or? No, it was, how did I get out there? I think I just took the time off and went. Yeah, I don't think it was an issue. I don't think it was. So let's see where it is right now. Normally when I've had a look at this website, when I do presentations, a lot of the times when I do corporate gigs at the moment, I will use this animation as like an opening title sequence. It's really great. It's whoever created this is awesome. You can see floating around there. Let's get the time scale though. That's 2020. I want to go to today. What's today? June 14th. So January, February, March, April, May, June. Who else has to count months on their fingers? I do. I can never work out, except for August. I know August is 8th because that's my birthday. Not August 8, August 23. Are you going to send me some presents? Is everyone going to send me lots of presents? That's amazing. What was the date again? August 23rd. August 23rd, you're going. That's really kind of you. I'm absolutely blown away that you're all going to send me gifts. Some have said raining gifts. Some of LA Times did an article, 4 days ago, where they pointed out that everyone on the internet is going to send me gifts on August 23rd. And I was like, I can't believe this. Is this an article about me? And then I read and I thought maybe it was someone else called Gray, but they for the entire day, the LA Times changed itself to LA Times dash Gray, this article is about you.com. And so once I saw that, I was like, well, I mean, clearly that's talking about me in that case. So thank you to everyone who's going to send me gifts on August 23rd. It really means a lot to me. Let's get back to where is Starman? Right now, check it out. So Mercury looks like it's a quarter close to the sun at the moment. You cheeky thing, how hot are you? Way too hot. You could cook ramen on Mercury all day long. I cooked ramen a few minutes ago. Well, not minutes, about an hour ago. Had the best ramen I've had in a long time, and legitimately the best ramen that I've ever cooked. A friend of mine I saw on Facebook a few days ago post saying that she had the best home-cooked ramen that she's ever had. Claire was like, this is delicious, it's amazing. It was the takeaway version of a restaurant that I've been to, Ichian. I've never been able to pronounce it. I've been to it in Hong Kong. I've been to it in New York. Amazing. And legitimately the best ramen you'll ever eat at home. So, Earth... It is in... Oh, wow. It's completely... Right now, the Roadster is on the opposite side of the sun. Here's how you can see the Roadster at the moment. Go out and stare at the sun, and just to the right of where you're staring at the sun is the Roadster. That's... you know what? That won't actually work because of the axis rotation of Earth. More importantly... Don't stare at the sun. No, actually, go stare at the sun, find the Roadster. If you're going to do that, that's where it is. So, where you'll be able to see on the stream if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, the Roadster, it didn't go into the same path as it didn't go into orbit with Mars, unfortunately. It went... I mean, it's kind of close every now and then. This is actually coming up. So here you can see Mars is skimming around in orbit. The Roadster is coming close. And here is the moment where they will be. Oh, we're all together. Look how close everyone is. Look how close that is. Earth is going to be kind of close to Mars. And the Roadster is at the closest to Mars as well. That is a really unique moment. That's going to occur... September 30, 2020. Somewhere around September, October 2020, Earth's going to be pretty close to Mars. Not its closest, but pretty close to Mars. And the Roadster is going to be the closest to Mars. And in that moment, that's where potentially Mars will have an eclipse from Earth. I mean, look, the orbits, it's all about alignment, but possibly Earth will eclipse Mars whilst the Roadster's kicking around there. Now, that would be awesome for the Roadster to get caught up in the orbit of Mars in that moment. However, if you keep watching, damn, it goes off on a different trajectory. But it then comes back round and nearly crashes into Earth. Nearly crashes. Why? Whenever there is some form of like meteorite, it always lands in Russia. It always lands in Russia every single time. It's usually, and because I think 97% of Russians own a dash cam, we always get footage of it, which is great. I love it, but it's always streaking across the sky. I saw something on Facebook a few days ago saying that Earth's going to get hit by a meteorite. What is going on with flat earthers, by the way? I'm not even going to get him. I'm not even going to give them time. Cannot even give them time. So, the Roadster went up on the Falcon Heavy. The next Falcon Heavy was scheduled for June 22nd. I was going to be there June 22nd. I'm out in Florida around that date. I'm doing a gig for the Navy for their tactical advancements for the next generation. And they were going to help me get me to Orlando and out to Kennedy Space Center. It was all going to be perfect, all going to be great. But unfortunately, something went wrong with the rocket, which is the same like when something's disastrously bad with an airplane and they say, hey, we got to do something mechanical to this airplane. You shouldn't go, no, keep the flight. No, you should always be like, oh, okay, fix it. Whatever's wrong with it, fix it. And so that's why I'm cool. It's okay, SpaceX, you can fix your rocket. I'll give you the time. I've even got, like, if you need to borrow a screwdriver or something, maybe I can help out. Or, I don't know, like a tape measure. I've got a tape measure just here. Do you need me to measure something? I can come along. I only use the metric system, though. This is, am I calling into question the imperial system? Yeah, I'm calling into question the imperial system, because what's an inch? When it really comes down to it, what's an inch? What's it based on? It's a good question. Where did inch come from? I'm worried about typing that in, actually, but okay, here we go. Inch, unit of British imperial and United States customary measure, is equal to 1/36th of a yard. What's a yard? I had a yard back in Australia. I had a great yard. Had a front yard, had a backyard. My neighbours had yards. They had a front yard. Some of the people I used to live near had side yards. What is a yard? They weren't all equal. They weren't the same size. It's not like every one of my neighbours you could walk along and go, oh, you've got a yard, and then John down the road, well, his yard's bigger, so he has 2.5 yards. No, it's still just 1 yard. Everyone just has a front yard, backyard, and if you've got a side yard, hello to you. Hello to you and your yards. All your yards. But what is a yard? What is an inch? Well, great. An inch is 1/36th of a yard. Okay, I can read that. It's insane. The Deca system. Metric. You can have a millimeter. You can have a centimeter. You can have a meter, a kilometer. These are all great things. And they're all base 10. Why is base 10 good? Oh, because base 10's the best. If we did right now, if we did a quick questionnaire of society and said which base is best, people would have to say base 10. If anyone said like anything else, they'd be wrong. How wrong would they be? They'd be as wrong. They'd be as wrong as the imperial system is. That's how wrong they'd be. And that's how wrong. That's whenever anyone says how right or wrong someone is, we should actually just base it upon, the answer to that question, you answered correctly, therefore you're metric. And that would equate to you're right. It's the right, you got it right. That's the right way to do it. And if you got it wrong, then you'd be imperial. For instance, if someone said, I like pineapple on a pizza, that's metric because pineapple goes well on a pizza. Oh, have I just started an internet war? I do believe I have, because pizza is delicious. I so often see posts where people are like, pineapple doesn't belong on a pizza. I tell you what belongs on a pizza, whatever you want, except for anchovies. Keep them in the sea. Why do you eat fish? They're aliens. Fish, all fish are aliens. Can you breathe underwater? No, of course you can't breathe underwater because you're a human. Fish can breathe underwater because they're aliens. Where did they come from? Outer space. How do I know this? Read it in a book. What book did I read it in? Can't remember. The front page had worn off from so many people reading it. So many people had read that book that the front page had scratched off. But what was inside? A list of aliens. Fish, page 1. All fish, not even just sharks. Are they terrifying? Yeah, sharks are terrifying. Why? Because they got big teeth. They've got... That's a Monty Python reference for anyone at home. It's a holy grail. Oh, damn, that film was amazing. I've got to watch that again. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that film in years. Oh, my goodness. It's got big teeth. They'd use the holy hand grenade on a rabbit. There's no spoiler alerts here. If you haven't seen Holy Grail, you need to go and see Holy Grail because it's an incredible film. It's an amazing film. Oh, it's the best. What have we been talking about so far? Wasn't this supposed to be about the Falcon Heavy? I have no idea. Okay, let us get back. That's right, the payload of the Falcon Heavy. Now I remember. Now I remember what's going on. So, Falcon Heavy, June 22nd is when it was supposed to be going. June 22nd. My event, 25th and the 26th in Pensacola. 22nd gives me time. You may be wondering, what do you mean, Greg? Gives you time how? Well, it would give me time to go from Pensacola to Orlando. Or, even better, the plan was that I was going to fly into Orlando, jump in a car, because that's what I can do, because I can drive cars. Jump in a car, go to Orlando. Sorry, jump in a car, go to Kennedy Space Center, and go through and see the flight, and then drive to Pensacola. But I can't do that now. Can't do it. Thing is, though, I feel like when Kennedy Space Center haven't released tickets for a launch, that's when you can suspect that there's possibly going to be a change of date. Now, Kennedy hadn't issued any tickets to the 22nd of June. So that was a bit of insight. That was a little bit of like, oops, something's going wrong here. Something's not right. But I love Kennedy Space Center. I've got some things here. This is I've been multiple times now. I've been twice actually. I did comedy out there back in, I can't remember what year. I did stand up during the launch of a ULA Atlas V rocket. It was it had the GOES-R geostationary weather satellite on it, and it was just one of the most amazing things. The last time I was out there was for the launch of the Kennedys. Was the launch of the Falcon Heavy. Let's see. I have some photos here that I can show you about what went on. This is my little screen here has got me askew. I've ended up slightly askew. If I disappear from vision, I disappeared. There we go. Bang. Right. So this photo here, if you ever have the opportunity to stand on the platform, this is the runway where they would land space shuttles. So like the Endeavour, when it came back to Earth, they landed on what is, I'm pretty sure, the longest runway on Earth. It's just miles. Why? Because space shuttles don't really have the same aerodynamic, let's call it, setup in the same way that a 747 does. Why? Because 747s need to take off and land quite a lot, whereas a space shuttle, just it mainly needs to be built for outer space. Landing is like a secondary mission. Sure, it's a pretty primary part of that secondary mission, but they don't land. They still come down and land like an airplane does, but you don't have the same braking system, the same reversers, like the motors on a 747 that kind of negate airflow. It doesn't have the same. So anyway, I found a traffic cone while I was there, and so you always need to wear traffic cones as a hat. That is an absolute pre-requirement for anything that you do. This is, while I was at Kennedy, they let me go into one of the control rooms. That, I think it's okay now, but at the time, that document in front was... that was the GOES-R launch book. Incredible stuff. But they let us sit down. This is inside one of the weather stations. So when rockets get launched, obviously there are so many different teams involved. One of the most important is weather. You have like a go or no go. Recently we saw the Falcon, the Falcon 9 go off from Vandenberg in so much fog that during launch, the camera angle that was set up kind of on a mountain, you didn't know any launch was actually happening until the rocket had taken off through the fog, went up, and then of course, a couple of minutes later, it comes and lands back down through the fog, because that's normal now. We live in a world where rockets that go up and come back down is a normal thing. Oh, what a world. So, with the photo that you're seeing here is inside, is there any way that I can bring up a little version? I reckon I can do this. There we go. Oh, hang on. There we go. Little bottom right hand corner. Hey, very fun. So, in this photo you're seeing a whole bunch of the crew that are there. They monitor, they give like flight yes or no and so on. Really cool stuff. This is, whenever you see SpaceX take off from Kennedy Space Center, this is normally their pad now, and this is a very important pad because it's where Apollo missions used to take off from. Yeah, really important pad. It's where the Falcon Heavy goes from. You see that photo that we had at the beginning. This one here. That photo there. This is the other side of that photo. So what you normally see is the SpaceX building looking at it. I don't know which way it's facing. Let's say normally you see the west side of it. That's where TV crews and photography teams are allowed to set up their equipment. The other side just has like a moat. One of the strangest things that I find about Kennedy Space Center is it's built on swampland and there's alligators everywhere. There's legitimately alligators all over, and the fences have alligator fencing to keep them out, which is it's angled at the top. It's the craziest place on earth. It's amazing. There's alligators there. I come from a land of crocodiles, so I completely understand it. This is when we were doing, this one is back doing the doing comedy for the launch of the Atlas V rocket. The security I had to go through in order to get in, because I was taking so many possessions and we were going to like a film location as part of this social stuff. We had bag searches and all of our equipment got I had tripods with me and camera equipment. I had a teleprompter. Everything got searched. But prior to that, because I'm an immigrant, I had to go through a whole bunch of security checks. Oh, I'd forgotten about that, actually. I had to go through a whole bunch of security checks. Even getting to do that event was hard enough, but the security to get in, you had to take passports and so on. I know they did previous checks. They did like background checks and so on, and luckily I got a clean record, so there was no problems there. Went in, but yeah, we had huge security tests, huge security. A couple of jokes just ran through my head then, but you can't do certain gags. Cannot do certain gags because I want to go back there. That is then, if you ever go to Kennedy, you must get this photo. It's the photo taken out the front of the Space Center at the. There's two parts to it. You've got like the complex where all of the flight goes on. So that's where control systems, the VAC, the Vehicle Assembly Building, which is this enormous building where they build rockets. That's what they do there. They assemble rockets in this building. All of that, the launch pads, all of that is Kennedy Space Center. The part where you normally get to go as a tourist or as a visitor is the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Center. And that's where they've got this thing called Rocket Park. That circle globe, which is very reminiscent of Universal Studios, is in the Visitor Center. So if you go along, get that photo, make sure you have it. This is Rocket Park. Rocket Park is so much fun. It's like replicas of a whole bunch of sort of like Saturn V's, and just wandering around in this amazing park. That's, of course, put the traffic cone on your head. If you go out there for the Falcon Heavy launch, do yourself a favor and purchase the most expensive ticket that you can. If there's a VIP ticket of some sort, if there's anything that you can do that costs a little more and delivers a little more, take it, because the opportunity, they will not list on the website exactly what you're going to do, because this is a live rocket launch site. They don't know in the lead up to it where they're going to be able to take you. However, on the day, they're going to do things like potentially take you out to areas, you meet astronauts, you can go inside space shuttles. This one was being modified. The insides were being rewired. I don't think we were actually supposed to go inside. And the reason I say that is because I do remember being kicked out of that rocket. After a little bit of time, some people came along and were like, "Hey, sorry, I know you're on a bus tour, but you weren't supposed to be dropped off here." And we all were like, "Oh, sorry." Pretended like we kind of didn't. A few of us knew that we weren't supposed to be there. The launch site, if you get to go along, is going to most likely be stadium seating. Now, it's a nighttime launch, so maybe it won't be, but most likely you'll have some form of stadium seating. You'll be near like the Saturn V wing, or depending on what ticket you've actually purchased. If you go through like Bill Nye and the Planetary Society, if you're a Kickstarter sponsor of the light sail, take the opportunity. They're doing a special event at the closest site that you can get to as kind of like a public member. Obviously, there's way closer that staff get and members of NASA and SpaceX and so on. But as a member of public, either take the VIP package from Kennedy or go with, the Planetary Society. Do whatever you can. Spend money on this event. That's probably the most important thing. I think it's $195. Let me find out the prices for you. Kennedy Space Center. I think it was like $195 for the ticket price to do the VIP with Kennedy Space Center. I'm scrolling through. I'm going to bring up so you can see what I'm looking at on my little screen here. Bang, bang. Here we go. So many buttons. I press so many buttons on this thing. Over time, I'm going to reduce the amount of buttons. I think actually over this weekend, I'm going to go through and probably change a lot of how this show works. Is it a show? Is it a podcast? I'm not sure. It's a bit of both. So here we go. Rocket, 24th of June, 11:30 p.m. Tickets that are available. You have to go and buy these now. These are going to sell out. $195. You'll be at the Saturn V Center. That ticket, get it. It's called the Feel the Heat package. Brings you as close to the launch as possible with a view of the rocket on the launch pad across the Banana Creek. Enjoy music and entertainment from a DJ. And stay up to date with live reports through the launch inclusions. You'll get the Saturn V. You get 2-day admission to the Space Center. Remember, that's where like Rocket Park and the photo opportunity is. Exclusive sneak peek of the new lunar module exhibit. Meal and drinks, photo op with the lunar rover, complimentary souvenir, digital photo vehicle placard. Yeah. So, who knows exactly what you're going to get? You may or may not have these additional features that I received when it was the first Falcon Heavy, because that was a huge launch. But you potentially might. So go the Feel the Heat package. The next one is still pretty cool. It's 1:15. It's Feel the Fun launch. You're at the North Lawn. So that Feel the Heat, you're 3.9 miles away from the rocket. Let me tell you, when you're 3.9 miles away from, say, like say if you're 3.5 miles away from like an Atlas V or something, you can feel the rumble. You see the light. You see everything before you feel it. You see the bright light. This is one of the cool things about night launch as well, actually. My first rocket was a night launch. It wasn't supposed to be because it was delayed by an hour, but it became a night launch. I had to ad-lib an hour of material. I tell that story a lot. I won't tell it now, actually, because it's now a bit. The feeling that you have of a regular rocket that's just like, just a traditional booster is pretty incredible. When you have 3 of them, when you have 3 boosters strapped together, it shakes you. 3.9 miles away is probably, that's what you want. But the next one, 7.5 mile, and then the other one is 7.5 mile with obstructions. Look, get them if you want. It's still great to be there. But if you're traveling to the Kennedy Space Center in order to see this Falcon Heavy launch, get the Feel the Heat package. Feel that heat, my friends. Feel that heat. So much fun. Yeah, you'll thoroughly enjoy it. And as I said, look, Bill Nye's got some things going on there. I saw Bill there one day. He was doing some shtick on the. I wonder if I can actually show you the video of it. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you the video. I'm going to bring up the video of Bill Nye doing shtick at the launch of the Falcon Heavy back a couple of years ago. Now he's talking about. We'll just bring it up. It's just a quick little video. It was so cool to see Bill there. I've done a bunch of events with him now. I really love the guy. I think he's amazing. I think he's done so much for science and tech, and he's an absolute gentleman. Very, 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 very nice guy. Okay, let's bring this over and put my little headphones on to make sure that the audio works here. All right, here's Bill.
Spacecraft. So we are a secondary payload, which will be on that spacecraft. So we are a secondary payload. We are on the manifest. Thank you. Woo! And for those of you who are members of the Planetary Society, thank you very much for your support.
Yes, go Bill. Go Bill. That was Bill at the first Falcon heavy launch. Yeah, it was really good fun. Really good fun. So get out there. Do it. You'll have a blast. You'll have an absolute blast. Now, something crazy happened to me yesterday. Something absolutely crazy happened to me last night. I was walking down the street. Went from my place and was walking to go and, well, actually I was just walking around with Kyle. It was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. We were going to head out and just grab a beer, but we ended up just walking. Oh, the basketball was playing as well. So we walk out of our place and we're walking down the street, and there's a local bar here called Michael's, which I'm not a fan of, and I've never really worked out why. I'm not entirely sure why I don't like this bar. It's actually the closest bar to me, which is annoying because you want, like, you know, if you've got a bar close to you, then you should enjoy that. I mean, if it's walkable, I think they have a pretty good happy hour, but I've never really enjoyed the place. There's something about the vibe of it. It's an old, like, it's an institution of LA and Santa Monica. Absolute institution. So we're walking up to it, actually. And I'm just making some jokes about how I'm not such a huge fan of it. And then all of a sudden, in the valet, a dude gets out of the car, and he's a tall guy. He's got some nice clothes on. He kind of looks like a European businessman, an elderly gentleman, but looks like a really gentle, nice businessman. Cool outfit. You know, he had cool glasses. As I walk closer to him, so I'm now walking closer to Michael's, and he's walking from the valet section that's directly out the front of Michael's. He's about to walk in with his wife. He stops on the sidewalk, and he turns and he faces me, and I see him, and I realize I've never had this feeling before. I was like, this is future me. This dude looks like me in the future. This guy looks like me. You can in such an instant, when you see someone, your mind processes so many things. I realized his mannerisms, the way he was standing, everything about him looked like it. I don't normally compliment people randomly on what they're wearing or things like that, especially when they're strangers. However, as I walked closer, I made sure I spoke to him. I walked past and I said, "I like your glasses." He said, "Thank you." Now, the reason I did that, one was, these glasses were quite cool. But secondly, I know you're not supposed to do that. I learned from the greatest documentary ever, Back to the Future, that you're not supposed to talk to your future self because it disrupts the space-time continuum. But in that moment where I had the opportunity to disrupt the space-time continuum, I took it. I took the opportunity. I saw it, and I thought, I'm not going to let this pass. This could be the moment that the fabric of the universe falls apart. Should I not destroy the universe by saying nice glasses? Of course you should. Of course you should. If you ever have the opportunity to single-handedly, completely dissolve the space-time continuum as we know it, take that opportunity. Why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? You annihilate literally the entire universe in that moment. Do it. Do it. Take it. See what happens. You got to take a chance. You see risks and you take them. You evaluate it in the moment. And what I did was I saw him and I thought, that's future me. Should I or shouldn't I say hello to him? Because I potentially will destroy the entire universe as we know it. I was like, I'm going for it. I'm going to test this theory. And I did it. Nothing happened. So what I learned is that whilst, yes, potentially, if you speak to your future self or your past self, you may disrupt the space-time continuum. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to instantaneously destroy the universe. Now, as we saw in Back to the Future. What it possibly means is that you've disrupted a timeline. And I think that's what I did. I think in that moment, I disrupted a timeline. Oh my God, no, I actually just realized I did disrupt a timeline. No, I did. Oh, no, yeah. No, later on that night, I saw an accident. A guy had an accident on a scooter. Wow. That could have been it. That could have been the fork in the space-time continuum. I don't even think of that. Here's something. If you ride a scooter, just be safe. As you know, I run a scooter business. Be safe. The laws now are lenient enough that, you don't need to ride a helmet. And while, yes, I do think that is the correct law, I think you need to take personal responsibility. And if you're not a good rider, you don't ride it at full speed. If you're not wearing a helmet, you don't ride it at full speed. Common sense must prevail. Never ride it one-handed. Never carry takeaway Chinese one hand whilst riding, whilst drunk. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. And someone, unfortunately, had trouble last night. Yeah. But, this guy that I saw, he was future me. He was legitimately future me. It was future me. If you haven't had the experience of seeing future you, keep an eye out. Keep your eyes open. They're out there. The people are out there. I reckon he was probably about 65, 70. I tell you what, maybe he was 85 and he just looked 65. Hopefully, we can only hope that might be what it is. That might be it. It's just a young looking old man. He was a fun dude. He looked like a really nice guy. He looked like I hope that's what I become. Just a gentle, nice guy who still gets about with his gorgeous wife, Kyle, and just does fun things. I hope that's what it is. But it's crazy. Oh. Yeah, if I still had the opportunity to explode the universe by talking to my future self, would I take that opportunity? I think I would. And I'm not too ashamed of that. It's not because I want to destroy the universe. It's just, look, sometimes space-time continuums have to be messed with. You've just got to sometimes see a space-time continuum and go, I tell you what, I'm going to break that. I'm going to break the space-time continuum. Not for fun, not because I'm a malicious person, but because everything must be tested. You must test out these theories. And in terms of testing out theories, we must also test out what is the best bag in the world. Well, the best bag in the world is a meme bag. Why do I promote this product? Because it's my product. I make these. Many of you know I've spent most of my career manufacturing electronics, and so I can manufacture stuff. It's the reason that I constantly head over to China and so on. I love it over there. I've manufactured an ungodly amount of products. One of the fun ones at the moment that I like building is this. This is called Meme Bag. It is a LED display backpack that you can upload memes and GIFs and all different types of things to it. So if you have like a favorite image, or I love the Mario Brothers that's scrolling there, you can wear that as a backpack and get around town. Now, also, if you're riding a scooter, and I do this at night time, I put this on so that cars can see me. And it just scrolls whatever I've got going on there. But at least cars will see. That is one of the dangers of this new emerging technology. So sometimes people aren't out there to run people over. It's just sometimes people don't see things. So memebag.co, use promo code podcast or RTM, Robot Time Machine. You'll get yourself a discount. They're normally $249, on special for $149, but you'll be able to get them for $119 at the moment. So, what am I going to do this weekend? Well, I'm gonna rewire this. I'm gonna rewire this control panel so that we can have cleaner cuts, because have you noticed every now and then, like, I push a button and there comes Bill Nye. Yeah, things like that happen where I've wired this panel in such a way that it's not totally correct yet. It's not 100% correct. It's 70% correct. And is 70% metric? No. 70% is still imperial, right? 70% is still imperial. What do we need to get? We need to get 100%. Why? Because that's metric. That's when something becomes metric. Up until something's correct, it's imperial. It's absolutely imperial. Once it's A-okay, once it's totally correct, once you're like, oh, that's the right answer, then it becomes metric. That's how it works. SI, System International. They're the ones who hold the kilogram. Let's rename it. It's not a kilogram. It's a killer right. It's a killer, 100% accurate. It's one of the ridiculous things about the kilogram. There legitimately is a material. I'm going to find out what the name of the material is, but let's think of it as basically a rock that weighs a kilogram, and that is what everything is based off for what a kilogram is. It's referenced from there. Now, when you actually go deeper and deeper and deeper into it, you can mathematically work out what a kilogram actually is because of the compound. And, this is getting crazy now. But as you know its atomic weight, you can start to actually go, right, there is this much of this item, therefore it has this much weight. And it is 1 kilogram in France. The original kilogram is kept under guard in Servais, France. Let's find what the material is. I want to know. It's in France. It's part of from memory. It's System International. I think is the organizing the International System of Units. Yeah, French System International de Units. That was the worst French accent I've ever done. That was a terrible French accent. I absolutely apologize. I didn't have on a stripy shirt. I had no onions around my neck. I wasn't slouching at all. And I didn't even have a cigarette. That was the worst French impersonation I've ever done, and I apologize for it. Next time, on the next episode of French impersonations, I will be sure to do more of that. I'll do more shoulder work. System International, the kilogram. Oh, wow. Now, I'm just reading this here. I don't know what this actually... here we go. Prior to 1793, the grave was defined as being the mass, then called the weight, of 1 litre of pure water at its freezing point. There you go. Because water, this is why water's great. Well, it's all, the metric system is all tied together in such a wonderfully beautiful, beautiful way. 0 for freezing point, 100 for boiling point. A litre of water is equal to a kilogram. Now, I didn't think it was at freezing point. I thought it was just at regular, at like at 20 degrees or something, but maybe it must be at freezing point. Anyway, there was an interim in 1889. The mass of a small squat cylinder, 47 cubic centimeters of platinum iridium alloy, kept in France. Also in practice, any numerous official replicas of it. Okay, so they made a kilogram, and they had replicas that went around. But currently, in 2019, by the way, we live in the future. Just to remind you, it's 2019. Next year is 2020. You're going to be alive in 2020. You will be alive in 2020. Congratulations, you've beat everyone of history. You've beaten everyone ever. You're alive in 2020. 2020 is the coolest year name ever in the year 2020. It was always, that's the future, the year 2020. In the what will we be doing in the year 2020? Surprisingly, still eating hot dogs. I knew that was probably going to be the case. However, I thought I'd be doing it in flying boots as well. However, no. No. And nor do I have drones bringing me my tomato sauce. And that's the correct term. It's not ketchup. Yeah? It's not ketchup. What's not ketchup? Tomato sauce. Tomato sauce is tomato sauce. Tomato sauce is not ketchup. Let me show you a picture of actually Kyle's favorite tomato sauce applicator. I'm pretty sure it's made by a company called Master Foods. Squeeze. This is someone needs to bring these into the United States. I don't know why this tomato sauce applicator doesn't exist in the US, but look at this. The way that this tomato sauce applicator works is you press it together and it squirts out the middle. So the two sides have tomato sauce. What this delivers is, unlike tearing a packet, you know when you tear a packet of tomato sauce and you tear it and you get tomato sauce all over your fingers and then people call you Tommy Fingers? Everyone standing around goes, "What's that on your fingers?" You go, "Tomato sauce." And they go, "Tommy Fingers." And you go, "No, that's not my name. That's never been my name and never will be my name." This tomato sauce applicator, 14 grams of it, metric system, so it's correct. 14 grams, you squeeze it and it squirts out the middle. The greatest tomato sauce applicator. We potentially are changing the name of this show to Tomato Sauce Fridays. Look at this. It even comes in tartare. Tartare. Comes in tartare sauce. Where are all these being sold from? Probably Australia. Sweet and sour barbecue. So much has changed since I left that gorgeous country. I was unaware that you had advanced all of your sauce distributing technologies into new vessels. I knew about the sauce applicator coming from the squeezy part for the tomato sauce. I was unaware that over those years you had applied it to sweet and sour and barbecue as well. For is this not the greatest way to put sauce onto your food? It is delicious. It is absolutely delicious. What on earth was I talking about? Oh, that's right, kilogram. So the kilogram is defined by setting the Planck constant, H, exactly 6.2 times 15 to the 10 negative 34, given the definitions of the meter and given definitions of the meter and second, then the formula would be, and then we've got a crazy formula there. I want to find what the actual material of the kilogram is. What is 1 kg France? I want to find the kilo. Oh, here we go. Kilogram. System international multiples. Carbon. Is it carbon? Mass and weight. People who know the answer to what I'm looking up at the moment are just yelling at the computer. They're going, "It's..." And they're yelling whatever it actually is, whatever the material is. Redefinition. Defines, okay, so they're defining the equation. That's the Planck constant. That's the new definition. Oh, it took effect May 20th, 2019. How are we talking about this right now? It only happened like 30 days ago. I must have had... You know what's strange? You just read so many articles, things sit in the back of your head. Maybe... No, I'm sure I didn't remember that this was actually like... I didn't think that this was current news. I didn't bring us down the rabbit hole of learning about the kilogram because I knew that the definition of it had been changed only less than a month ago. But wow, it really was. So they've moved away from the actual item itself and moved to just a calculation now. Yeah, incredible. But let's find a replica, prototype, kilogram. That's the replica. Previous definitions, definitely on made. The definition became... No, where's the previous definition? An artifact. All right, I'm going to keep searching for that. It's here. What is the kilogram made out of? Because we've got to find this out. It was superseded by the of equal height. Platinum iridium. Okay, it was made. We read that before. It was platinum iridium, is what it was made out of. It was originally intended to be 1,000 cubic centimeters of water. Pound. The pound is defined as equal to 0.4439 blah 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 kilograms exactly. Nope. You can't have that. Nope. Nope. The standard kilogram was kept at the International Bureau of Weights and Measurements laboratory at Surveys France. However, in 1989, it was discovered. Here's the incredible part. Here we go. I've finally found it. This is crazy. This is crazy. This happened. However, in 1989, it was discovered that the prototype kept at Surveys was 50 micrograms lighter than other copies of the standard kilogram. That's why it changed to an equation. Because take this. Imagine you're a time traveler, which is what we all are, because this is Robot Time Machine. I just realized we're finally talking about what this show's actually talking about. I met the time traveler last night. Robot Time Machine, 3 episodes in and I meet a time traveler? 3 episodes into making Robot Time Machine and I meet a time traveler. Future me. Desiree, play Dreams Come True. Dreams can come true. Look and everybody say, we gotta find the right lyrics to that. Dreams can come true. I reckon that's what it is. Is that? Oh, was it Gabrielle? I thought it was Desiree. Yes. Oh, you're damn right they can come true. What did they do? They can come true. Yes, they came true. Last night, Robot Time Machine, when I met a time traveler. I met future me. And I have such blatant disregard for the space-time continuum. Oh, did I speak to him? You're damn right I did. Complimented him. He was wearing some sharp glasses. And I said, nice glasses. He looked at me and said, thank you. And the space-time continuum didn't explode. The universe didn't explode, or did it and we're only dreaming? Is this all a dream? Have you really been alive? Oh, that's heavy for a Friday afternoon. This is light for a Friday afternoon. So the lyrics... Oh, the lyrics. Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh, here we go. Dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, if I'm with you. You know you got to have hope. You know you got to be strong. Move a step closer. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Let us quickly. Dreams didn't come true. Look at everybody. You know you got to have them. Oh, what a song. That dreams do come true here on Robot Time Machine. Time travelers, we're finding them all over the place. But here we go. So, the kilogram up until, I don't know, 17 boring, some year in the 17 or 1800s, the kilogram was defined as a litre of water at freezing point. That's great. Everyone has access to that. You can be like Johnny, 3 countries over, can be like, sorry, what's a kilogram? And you go, it's a litre of water at freezing point. And then you go, how much is a litre? And now you're awkward because he doesn't have one of those Pyrex measuring jugs. But you then lend it to him, obviously, because you want him to understand what a litre is. And he goes, oh, thank you. Because they were still learning English back then. They were transforming it. I don't even speak English. I speak Australian, which is why you probably only understand every second word that I say. So anyway, it goes along. Here's what I love. They created a kilogram like this. They said, that's a kilogram. Bang, that's a kilogram. You can make replicas of it, and you can take one to your house, and you can have it, and you can take one to your laboratory, and you can use it too. And so people all over the place had a kilogram But there was really only 1 kilogram. There was the one and only kilogram. And then in 1989, it was discovered that that kilogram was 50 micrograms lighter than the other copies. To avoid a problem of having the kilogram defined by an object with a changing mass, now how does it lose it? Things decay. Things, pure vacuums maybe weren't pure vacuums. I don't know, but stuff decays. Does it maybe? I don't know. Maybe that platinum iridium has a half-life of 3 minutes. That would be ridiculous. It doesn't have a half-life of 3 minutes at all. Let's see. Half-life of platinum iridium. What is it? There are 2 natural isotopes of iridium, 34 radioisotopes, the most stable, being IR with a half-life of 73. This isn't platinum iridium. That's just straight iridium. I don't know. Let's keep looking. To avoid the problem of having the kilogram defined as an object, they agreed in 2011 to a proposal to begin to redefine the kilogram not by a physical artifact, but by a fundamental physical constant. The constant was Planck's constant, and then they worked out that 1 joule is equal to 1 kilogram times meters squared per second squared. So, May 20th, 2019 is when that went into... Look, we're time traveling here. We're constantly time traveling here on Robot Time Machine because that happened only a few months ago. Only less than a month ago, May 20th. Wild. Absolutely wild. All right. What do we talk about? What is this show even about? We'll learn as we go along. I tell you what, though. We're time travelers. That's what we are now. We're all time travelers. You can't argue with the fact that we're all time travelers because now is now and then was then. The past. You progressed through time, therefore you're a time traveler. That's what we are. We're all time travelers. Yeah, all right, we're time travelers. I've now met future me. Didn't have that much of a conversation with him, but did I attempt to destroy the fabric of the space-time continuum? Damn right I did. It's exactly what I did. Would I do it again? Yeah, I'd do it again. You know I'd do it again. Of course I would. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you do it again? We'll be back with another episode, another show. Make sure, go get your tickets to Kennedy Space Center, 24th of June. Get the Feel the Heat package. You'll be at the Saturn V site. The other ones, it's only 3.9 miles away from the launch. You want to grab that one. You don't want to get the other packages because, they're not as good. They're not as good. If they're the only ones available, take them. But certainly try and grab the Feel the Heat, 3.9 miles away. What did we learn? We learned that if you say hello to your future self, the world doesn't explode. The universe doesn't fall in on itself. Or maybe it does and we're all still dreaming. I have no proof. All I know is I don't have proof of what's going on. And before we go, there we go. There's a French fry. There's a French. I've been launched. I'm getting French fries thrown at me. These are potentially time traveling French fries. They are. Oh my god, that was a headshot of a French fry. This has been Robot Time Machine. Get your tickets to Kennedy Space Center. I'm trying to think if I've got any upcoming gigs. I'll be in Pensacola. However, that's a closed corporate thing. We got some cool things actually coming in July. I'll tell you about some cool dates coming in July. I might be doing comedy in Santa Monica next week. Stick around. I'll mention if that comes up, the local comedy club. And can you pass me one of these? These are French fries in shoes. This is, if you're wondering how do I get handed these things, it's a... It's the gorgeous Kyle, always helping out with a French fry. We'll be back again soon. This is Robot Time Machine. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe on YouTube. The podcast is still being reviewed by Apple, but that'll be up soon. But if you're listening this into the future and you're a time traveler, don't worry about what I just said there, because we'll be approved by then. We'll be approved and we'll be live. Check out Robot Time Machine, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Send me messages. Let me know what we should do in this show. You're all time travelers. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.